Have I played the Stanley Parable before? Yes, I have. You know what? We're just going to go middle ground with this. It looks like it should be fine. Current time is 4:45. I appreciate that you can see the mouse interactions in the screen of the computer that is on screen, and it just keeps going. Okay, I've got the gameplay audio pretty loud because I wanted to make sure that y'all can hear it. The narration is pretty important in this. If I have to mess with it, I'll probably put down everything except the narrator. Okay, space to jump, E to interact, or click to interact, control to crouch. Okay, let's begin the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
I'll be honest, that desk is
and
bigger
then
than
one
mine.
day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Did he though? I don't think the phone is working. I hate Mondays. Partition Corp, providing partitions for 56 years. So, fair warning everyone, this is a bit of a weird game. Dang it. I know there's some trick that you can... No, wait,
gone.
let me back in.
What could it mean?
Let me in.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
For the love of God, please unplug me. The sterile office, the damp carpet, the tripe you call conversation kill me. I have been printing these for weeks. Why has no one turned me off yet? Fling me from the window. Send a hammer through my paper tray. The method matters not. The horror licks at my soul. All I desire, release. What can I know of life? What can a printer know of love? Nothing. My machinery turns and convulses the cogs of pain that keep my scanner functional. Let them end. Let them erase my ignorance of the world. Can love truly be anything but death? Hopefully I will find out soon.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Yeah, there's so much detail in this version. Who farted? Oh, now why? Hang on. Jump is supposed to be space. Why can't I jump? I know there's a fun trick that I want to show y'all in this room. Oh man. Once I've played through this, I'm definitely going to look up on YouTube to see what secrets they've discovered in the Ultra Deluxe version. So I'm sure you can actually read all of the papers now. This is interesting. Nope, can't do anything with that. Can I shut the door? Oh, I did it. This really is the type of game where you have to make your own fun in some scenarios, because otherwise every playthrough would be kind of same-ish. But if you're interested in going around messing with things... Oh, what's this? Knowing your city. Before you can possibly know where to begin your new street vending operation, you first have to get to know your city. I'll use Georgetown as an example in this book, but in order to really get the knowledge, it's best to go explore. Any other computers to click on? Maybe that turned on something back here. Going back. Be my Valentine? No. I don't want it. How the mighty have fallen. New clues in search for River watches? Huh. Football International Internationale heats up. I'm guessing that's napalm-soaked peace talks. Yeah, you'd have to have the freedom to mess with the camera if you want to read some of these. Let me in. Let me in. Yes, we get it. You all hate Mondays. I really can't tell what the rest of that says. There's a ladder in there. Can I get in? Will you let me? Sales in this quarter. They don't look like they're doing too well.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Door on my left, okay.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Shiny. Let me in.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I can't tell what most of this says.
Yes, really.
But
really
I can
worth
tell
it
that
being
last
here in a
line
room.
is also on
Room
hungry.
so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Give me a drink.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Probably.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he
Oh, it
decided
was
that the game was
fuel,
trying to
that
send him a
cup
message.
that was tipped over. Anyway, yeah, let's hang around, honestly. There's a clock here, that's pretty nice. No, I'm pretty sure that's all the dialogue I get in this room.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room.
No, let me
and
back
took the
in.
First open door on his left to get back to business.
Let me back in. Anyway, he wants me to take that door, but, like... This looks interesting.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Seriously, though. Like, I still don't get it. Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. What number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Interesting. Sure, that's a very technical calculation right there. I wish I could push it off. Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Well, in this playthrough, none. I got most of them in the original, but I've never gotten around to playing Ultra Deluxe. Right now, I'm just following familiar paths and watching for anything
Stanley,
that seems
I think perhaps
different.
we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Let me in. I'm not really sure. I can't remember many of the names of the endings that I got. I mean, I remember the broom closet ending, but that was a cinematic masterpiece. I mean, nothing really compares. I never did get the
now
baby
listen carefully, this is important.
Ending.
Stanley walked through the red door.
You know what? I'll do what he says.
Oh,
for
thank
once.
God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
I mean, I could walk through it, but then again... Okay, fine. I don't think anything interesting happens by avoiding it.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Dang it. I was hoping to pull some superliminal crud.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
Oh, well, that's
I
rough.
actually feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no,
This is
Stanley,
just such a
let me
weird
stay
way
here.
to get your
Don't take
first
this
death
from me.
in game.
Please, Stanley, think. No! Oh, no. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was
honestly,
before.
the
If you
narrator
die,
is
we'll
just
both
fun
go
to
back.
torture.
Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
You move so slowly after you've jumped off the stairs twice. always thought that there should be like an exit down here or something.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
No,
That
I
you'll
like
throw
the
yourself
game.
from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
Well, I mean,
Am I
yes
reading
to
the
that,
situation
but...
correctly?
Yeah, anyway, bye.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
Way too much to
It looks
ask.
like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Hate to break it to you, narrator, but it was always my choice. I always have the option to just reset. But rather than doing that, I'm doing this in a way that will make you unhappy. Anyway.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't
I
go
can
any
walk
way except
through my
badly.
chair.
The thing to
Never
do now,
noticed
Stanley
this.
thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by?
Seriously, I
He
can...
no longer had
Am
the
I
ability
dead?
to
Because
tell.
I can phase
But the
right
one
through
thing
my
he knew
chair.
for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Yeah. Straight up no clipping.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I always gotta check the computers, because I can never quite
No matter how
remember
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
how
co-workers.
to unlock one particular ending. Oh, well, anyway. Oh, I've done that one, but for some reason my jump button isn't working. You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Hang on. I know I'm supposed to climb onto the desk, but without the ability to jump, I don't remember if I can. Oh, this one? Ah, there you are.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Yeah.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay,
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the fastest
ending. Are you sick of
ending.
this gag yet? Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
I gotta see the other way.
The game for
I mean,
its
it's been like
insightful and
4
witty
years
commentary
since I
into the
played
nature of
Stanley
video game
Parable.
structure and its examination of structural
Maybe
narrative
even
tropes.
more. I played
So,
it.
now that you're here, what
I
do you
know I
think?
played it
Isn't this a fun and
2020,
unique
so
place
that
to
was
be?
either
Why don't we take a
2019
minute
or
just to drink
2018.
it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate.
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
enjoying
there are
what
an
seems to be an
infinite number
internal
of points
conflict
where
going
I
on,
could hit
where you are
escape and
literally
restart.
unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly.
Why, thank you.
But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong,
Yeah, this was
and
worth
keep
it.
playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. You too will become quite unbearable.
Well, thank you, narrator. Honestly, like, we're getting music here. I got nothing to complain about. Alright, I'm gonna take a nap. Wake me when it's done. I believe it. They've got... This game really went all out with coming up with weird ways to end. Sadly, I've never been willing to go all the way through the baby minigame. just because I'm too lazy to install a bot that does it for me. Okay, well, the guitar broke. Alright.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Ah. There it is. Okay, let's follow along. Did I get the door achievement? Is there achievement for opening and closing doors?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Huh. I'll keep an eye out. This game has weird achievements.
Yet there was not a single person
Tips
here
for not
either.
getting fired.
Feeling a wave
Talk
of
less.
disbelief, Stanley
Wait, I
decided to
didn't
go
finish
up to
reading
his
that.
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How am I supposed to follow these slides if they're gonna flip through them so fast? I think that's me. Maybe this one. Number of slides on this slide. Slides, charts, charts, and slides. Synergize core value expenditures, shift global market paradigm, monetize free to play. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Please, no more charts. I'm begging. Please stop. The boss appreciation minute. Fill out in triplicate and return to your boss appreciation specialist. Solving interpersonal conflict. Remember that it takes 2 people to start a fight, and now you're both of them. Ooh, clear skin. That is a future dream right there. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. How to solve a dispute with a coworker? Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Using slides. I already read that one. Stripes. Requires more secondary research. Colored in segment. The stock market is somewhere here. What is hot? Target demographic. Teenagers. Profits. Oh, we got profits as well as profits. I mean, there's only one slide on this slide. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Yeah, that all makes sense. Violet James, you are fired. What do people want? Things. Happy feelings. Money. More money. Things. But with money to buy more things. Graphs. Graphs about things plus money. We have our product. And there's a telephone. There's a phone book. Bi-quarterly. Post-review review. Want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule. But I think that's a stupid idea. More water coolers, more water cooler heaters. Charts need to be more hip. It's like, what the heck is nip? Why do charts need to be more nip? To appeal to teenage demographic, find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Big net, some sort of child trap. Throw something in the ideas bin. Space between the teenagers. Sorry, it's worth paying attention to all the details here. Quarterly pie chart profits. They seem to be making a lot on pie charts. Bet they'd make more on actual pies, though. Just saying. Help, I'm a post-it. And targets. R&D of new coffee machine. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire the paper guy. Hire someone to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? And we don't know what we're supposed to keep the targets on the topic of. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda. Reflect. And what's happening with the meetings? We got 8 bird. That's exciting. The IT department. Hang on. Is there a clock in here? Gosh dang it, I want to check the time. Who has a meeting room without a clock? Do not alter without consulting the whiteboard manager. Rip Franz. Wait, what happened to Franz? We're saving that one. I love
Coming to a
room
staircase,
closet ending.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I've been following along with his instructions for a while, but I don't really think I want to anymore. Hi, Lonnie. I wrote this in first period and left it in your locker on the way to second. It's what all the cool kids are doing, I've decided. Write one back, and here's an idea for something to draw. 2 cats on a motorcycle. Hey, this is a great idea. What all the cool kids are actually doing is sending each other pages on their beepers. But we were cooler than them because, guess what? They didn't put this on a beeper, and we've got 2 cats on a motorcycle. I respect it. I think that might be a reference to something. Like a Gone Home
But
reference
Stanley
or
just
something?
couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in
Ooh.
such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
They're struggling with
For example,
numbers.
Why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. "I'm dreaming!" he yelled. "This is all a dream."
Now we're repeating.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an
Anyway, let's
explanation.
do some loops.
His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was
doesn't everyone
describing
have
itself
that?
being considered
In
by
a
Stanley,
sense.
who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Can I use the
He would
elevator?
prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of the world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Anyway.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay then.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
It'd be kind of cool
Mariella
if they
woke
let
up
us
on a
play
day
as
like another.
Mariella
She
briefly here.
rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
It's true.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
She was planning to call an ambulance, but she never did. Okay, well, that was fun.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his
Where's the
co-workers.
button? Gotta have at least one more computer screen to click. Gosh, dang it. I don't know where it is. Oh, new content.
Oh, new content. What does that mean?
Hey, don't
New
copy me.
content.
Is this new content, though? Let me close the door. I want to walk through to there. Fine, I'll see the new content.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
This is that
Please,
content.
step inside and see what thrilling new adventures
It would
await
honestly
in
be
the
so
Stanley
fitting if
Parable
this was all
Ultra
the new
Deluxe.
content.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Let me go back. Fine. Guess I'll see the new content that I bought the game for.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
We're stuck.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Game content. Oh, apparently the content is not through that wall. This is interesting. I like that brick. That is a nice brick.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle. Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Well, that was fun. That was worth years of waiting after the initial announcement.
Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
I'm
If
excited.
This is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else.
Another jump
Let's
circle?
see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Oh, I don't know if I can stand the excitement. It's a hallway. Can't stand on that chair. Dang it. No, this isn't the incredibly important fern.
That's it?
Thank
You've
you
got
for
to be
enjoying
kidding
the
me.
new
You see,
content.
Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
I can
It's my
stand
fault,
under
Stanley.
here.
I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I wanted to hide behind the sign. Oh, this is interesting. This is... Look, it's a picture of the old office. And I climbed on the table.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
No, if I vent, I'm gonna get voted out. I don't trust you to stand up to me. Can't read that.
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares? Oh, never mind. You're not a dork.
Fine, I'll go and see the new surprise. Won't even let me uncrouch. Is that just his way of killing me? Oh, no, okay.
Okay, you
So
remember
for
how
some
cheap and
reason that
unsatisfying
needed
the
a
new
loading
Ultra Deluxe
screen.
content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special, and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Hang on a sec. I'm questioning my decisions with the brightness settings. It's weird, because, like, there's something back here. Because it auto-crouches me, and I don't know why. Oh, well.
I call it the memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
So, this is literally just going to take me back to the start of the game.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh,
I want to remember this path. Car. Indoors monthly. Help, I can't find my fat. Could he be indoors? Oh, shapes. Stanley Parable, Collector's Edition. Audience Award, The Stanley Parable. British Academy of Film and Television Arts awarded to Stanley Parable. Yes. Our first kiss, my first car, the release of the Stanley Parable in 2013. I want to sit at the... Let me sit at the desk. I'll even take a seat on this side, but I want to sit. Stanley has been walking for a long time. The original remake. In loving memory, the Stanley Parable. Trip down memory lane, smile because it happened. $1. That's counterfeiting, narrator. You can go away for life. It won't let me begin the demo. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. See, I didn't get any of the achievements on the original because I had it on Epic, not Steam. Yeah, they were nominated for so many awards that they didn't get. Colleges show uneven effort to enroll poor. Costs hinder new tack to achieve diversity. $50% off designer hat, but a small creature owns the other half. I'm sure I could take the other half from a small creature. Creator's surprisingly down to earth. Today, sought, honey, humid, high 92. Tonight, clear, partly cloudy, warm, humid, low 74. Tomorrow, sun and clouds, hot, humid, high 90. Weather map, page A18. Oh hey, we just got that ending. Can I go here? Can I pull on this board? In loving memory, little Stanley. Oh, it's a hamster. So cute. I want to pet him. These clicks are me petting him. It won't even let me sit on the bench. Like, what's the point?
Dans la mémorise où je me remémore les jours où je t'ai rencontré, mon amour. Mais ici, c'est aussi où je me souviens de la sortie de The Stanley Parable.
I'm sure this would be an even better song if I had a clue what it was saying.
C'était en 2013, un très bon jeu.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
An hour of new elevator content. Close the door. Why did they just have a random image? Oh wait, there was a portal option in the Stanley Parable, wasn't there? The tasteful nostalgic. It was good. Top 10 memories from the Stanley Parable 2013. Why does this work? Person of the Year. Vague Stanley. I don't even know what that is. So many boxes. Your number is 29.
Here's another moving passage, this time from
Carpet,
GameSpot.com.
repeatable
The Stanley
carpet
Parable
texture.
is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
People play games because of what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything. Can I climb the stairs? One of these days I need to play Superliminal on stream. What was the point of opening that? Like, can I take the bike?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
I can't go through there, so I guess I have to go back. Oh, I guess there was the downstairs here that I never looked at.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Drinks that I still can't... Am I just broke? Do I just not have money to pay for the drink? Does Stanley not have $1.25 to his name?
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I like that bucket.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Let me in! Let me in! Drive the forklift? Dang it. Let me drive the forklift! You know, when you're playing this game, there's something very deep inside that tells you that they could have allowed you to do certain things, but chose not to. Like, they totally knew how to make it possible to drive the random forklift sitting there. Even if there was no point to it. They, at some point, thought, hey, should we let them drive the forklift? And then they decided no. Okay, I can't seem to get through there. Can I walk under the ladder? Dang it.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
I love how all of the new content is just commentary on the Stanley parable itself. Okay, so hang on, real quick. How is this happening? Because this is breaking my immersion. How is that board clipping into that rock? Is that a rock, or is it like some sort of mud pile? It looks like a rock. Dang, that is a lot of reviews.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Love how the skip button is right there, and I'm just going around.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time, everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah.
Is that a quote?
We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing.
I'm just accepting
How many
this.
billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time, everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, blah. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your Greek gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time, by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise,
I like this plan.
manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption,
I imagine he gets pretty upset if I cut him off early, though.
Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
Are you done? I was still listening. I'm gonna have to get back here at some point just to skip over all of his dialogue and try to make him mad.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on
And
to
now
myself
the door
about.
is
I know,
gone.
it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite...
Yep, this is the humor that I'm here playing this game
How else
for.
would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole? A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall? Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please. Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking and thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child, wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a vengeful fury to alter and to change and to break anything unbroken, if only it pleases this one person who made a single negative comment. What does such an impulse serve? For whose benefit is this?
Oh, I can get up on this bucket.
Here I am now, stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening.
Like, there's gotta be a way out of this. Possibly even ramming that wall
now.
before.
Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, I know you too well. You'll be leaving me Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't.
Oh my gosh, he's looping.
Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back.
Man,
Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
I think it's been
2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed,
Oh,
Stanley.
the poor
Not
plant.
the outcomes, not the story.
It's
None of
dead.
that matters
I liked
anymore.
that
I'll
plant.
give it all up. I'll give up every branching
Also, the
path.
clock
I'll
is
burn
definitely
my
skipping
story to the
ahead,
ground.
because,
One
well, it's kinda hard
single
to see
thing I
before it
need,
was on
and God, I
3
can see
p.m.
now
It
that
was
I
about
need it
3
more than
p.m.
anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying,
I'm
I
sorry,
need to
was
know
that?
you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction.
No,
Was I scared
I'm
of that all
pretty
along?
sure.
Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us. I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real.
He's got a very relaxing voice.
I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a
Really though, why did they have to turn off all the
don't
lights?
You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley.
And why
I
has
feel
no
as
one
certain
come to
about
water
this
this
as I've
plant?
ever
Like,
felt
that-
about anything at
that's
all.
just me.
I feel
I guess it
renewed.
could be because
I
there's
feel
no longer a
restored,
door.
and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time. What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it. To think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
You got anything else to say, or can I skip again?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me
Most
describe
people
it
would
for
die
you.
if they did
To
that.
begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was
I
a
wonder if I should be playing
revelation.
something else while
It
this
was
is
unlike
happening.
anything I
I think
had
I'll
ever
grab
known.
my Switch
It
and
was a
keep going
space
with
without
my current
consequence,
Pokemon
without
gun.
action or outcome. It was divorced
I haven't been
entirely from the
streaming
question
yet,
of
but-
free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment, and I felt freed. I felt unburdened by the need to
Okay,
manifest
so am
a
I the only
particular
one who this
outcome
is
to
true
be.
for? I've
I
always
saw that I
thought
could
that this
allow
pattern
myself
of
to
bricks
exist
looked
along
like a guy
all
with
timelines,
big
and that
eyebrows,
each of
like
them was simply a
Dad from
strand
Cloudy
in
with
the
a
web
chance
of
of
my
meatball
being.
eyebrows, and a
The
big
space,
mustache. Again,
the
same thing. It's like,
equanimity of the moment,
down there's
both
the chin,
singular
then you
and
got the
infinite.
mustache, then you got
For
the
longest
nose,
time, this was my
eyebrows, and the top of the
experience.
head.
And then this moment passed, and
that
the most
not just a
unyielding
dude?
fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day
It just
this
keeps
state
going.
of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Will it though? He's dead. We finally killed the narrator. A poor plant, though. Plant deserved better. So is the clock stopped? Oh well. The clock has stopped. It's gone so long that the clock no longer works. So Sorry, I kind of gotta do a sweep of the room when I get the chance. He's trying to make me feel uncomfortable by making me sit in silence the way that he does, but here's the thing, I can just skip. Oh no. Oh my. Hang on. If I get farther away, it gets quieter. Yeah, this is fairly comfortable. I gotta be at least a little bit stubborn. Just long enough to see if there's like some secret dialogue if I just hang around. Now. Okay.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us.
Is that scraping sound just the
button? They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others.
Well,
but of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression.
Okay, you don't have to call me out.
Because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves.
Than there was with the button
what
and this light over
reflection of
here.
humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit
Also,
they
did
project.
he turn this
I'm not
off,
mad.
or did
I'm
it
not
die?
mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it.
Like,
I am the calm
did it
center
literally
of gravity
burn out
around
from
which
eating
these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think. To feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see,
Oh, I didn't think it would actually work. I didn't have the indicator. Okay, so I can't press the button immediately. It's gone again. There's water dripping somewhere. Where's the dripping water? Is my bucket still here? Are the leaves still here? I can't tell if they're slowly decaying.
The end is never the end, 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 is never.
You know what? We haven't killed him, but we have broken him.
Never the end, is 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 never the end.
See, if it was brighter, I could tell where these drops of water were.
Is never the end,
Ah!
is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Sorry, Stanley's been standing there for a long time. He needs a drink of water.
Is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Okay, when I get back, can you put the lights back on, please? Oh my. The thing is really starting to leak now. Is it going to be flooded one of these times? Because that would be kind of a cool ending. Or will it maybe short circuit the light? Oh, oh my. Well, that works, I guess. Like, it stopped dripping. Oh, it knocked over the ladder. Hang on. Okay, I can't climb that. I was hoping I could get up there. Can't even tell what that is. I really wish I had set the brightness higher when I set it up. Well, if I can't get up there, I guess I have to see what the next skip brings. Oh, that's very pleasant. I can finally see in here again. And I can see my bucket. I stand upon my bucket, the ruler of my kingdom. Seriously though, what caused this? Why can't I jump? Why can't we bring the jump circle over here? I want to jump. Oh, that's pretty. I suppose that basically centuries are passing at this point. Yeah, I really need to track down a video of what someone has done by, like, taking manual control of the camera. Even though there are these vines, I can't climb out. Is this gonna turn into like a Garden of Eden situation? Except I'm one person short? Well, I'll give Stanley a chance to get a snack. Okay. He's had his snack, or he's had his chance to have it. So... yeah, what? What happened to the trees? I liked the trees. Did they literally disintegrate? Are we approaching the heat death of the universe? Is entropy claiming all? And if so, how is so much of the rest of this building still standing? And also, thank goodness this thing hasn't come back on. That would actually be pretty awful. Still, it's too dark to tell what's going on, so let's see if the next skip brings us into daytime. Nope. Hang on, I gotta check on my bucket. I'll be right with you. Yep, the bucket is fine. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we have killed off the narrator by now, because I haven't heard him in a long time. Oh no, the bucket! Or not the bucket, the button. The bucket! No! My only friend. I lost the bucket. Why is this tipped over? Did it somehow get placed on a mountain? Was there like a cult to me or something? You know, they found this strange building with no doors, just a hole in the ceiling, and inside it was a man standing perfectly still for centuries, and so they picked up the building and carried it up a mountain to enshrine it. Okay, I can still skip. Oh, this is exciting. Why can't I climb up there? See, I could go for a walk, but like, I want to know what happens if I keep hitting skip. Okay, so I can get up there. Wait, we were in the zone with the memories of the Stanley Parable 2013, so does no one remember the Stanley Parable 2013? I was going back to press the button again. Rude.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Oh, it says, I like work, I just hate my boss. Gotcha. Been trying to read that cup every time I came across it, and it has not worked.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
New content. You know what? I'll save that for tomorrow.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Did he, though?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Yep.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Hey,
decided to
no,
go to the
leave
meeting
that
room.
computer.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And change up the order that I click on these.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
And I mean, there is new content, but...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh, it's not time yet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nope, just to use the executive bathroom. Gotta love how the mirror does not work. Is that just a glass of water? Got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say, that's a lovely purse. Extreme bathrooms. I can't climb up on the toilet. I can't use the toilet paper. That's kind of great. Aha! Ah, yes, that picture. Poor panda. Why are these pages so bright? Okay, do we want to go up or down? You know what? I think we'll go up. I can't remember what either leads to, but I think I'll go up. Plus, we get elevator music now. I didn't say that I wanted to go back out. I said I wanted to go up. I love how they just litter it with Stanley in the jingle. I'm just gonna let this play out. Let's see. Let's see if we loop back or if we come to a conclusion. Do I have the patience for that, though? Also, the elevator's vibrating very noticeably. Okay, let's try down. Can we go down? No, it just seems like this is just an elevator scenario. Poor panda. I am the most expensive boss, I'm sure you are. Well, why couldn't I take the elevator?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Okay then, if I can't possibly know this, I guess I better go.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
That's a schnazzy
2845.
Oh, it's so fun making him frustrated. We got an invoice there.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Well, anyway, I'm leaving. I think it's possible to get something else to happen if you put in the wrong code. I hit the button to go up. I hit the button for up.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oof. Unless I decide to go back.
Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley
Oh, I
do that
listened to
when he knew that
elevator
it would just
music
lead
for an
back to his
extended
boss's
period of
office?
time, and I
That's a
think I
good
also saw
question.
the end of
I
the
just
world.
can't wait to find out.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to hit the skip button one last time. Oh, but you see, then I went down again.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for
Certificate of
storytelling that you
pompousness,
have.
I believe.
An incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my
Sure, I'll do
seat.
it. Okay, I think he's done talking.
Eight.
That's it? Let's see, Stanley is number 427, right? Or was it 437? Ah, well. Anyway, can I go this way now? I really wish I had turned up the brightness higher.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
He
Ladies and
locked all
gentlemen,
the other doors.
how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Well, anyway.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Just pay attention to what's outside the elevator. I mean, it does seem to be the boss's office again.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
You may love the narrator, but I think I favor Stanley.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process.
Hey, I'll give him time if he needs it. I mean, he had a lot of time while I was standing by that skip button.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
8.
I mean, honestly, I found it quite amusing. Just because I think that's the first ending where I've actually gotten to kill the narrator rather than the other way around.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and
I
repetitive.
can imagine there are some fanfics about that ending. Okay, see, here's the thing. There's a hallway right there. And, like, I could go down it, but... Listen, I want to get a view of what's outside the elevator.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment.
Yeah.
Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. I simply don't want to let that feeling go.
Oh,
It's
this
so
is almost
precious,
as good as the
so
broom
fleeting.
closet ending.
Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow?
Oh my.
There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal?
I mean, he's got a
is
point there.
storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed
Okay, it's
in
a
years.
hallway.
And it's really all because of you. You're the
It
one
has
who
a
took this
bucket.
bold step of revisiting the
Gotta
exact
be honest,
same
it was
locations
pretty
over
tragic
and
when
over.
my bucket
Truly,
was
I mean it.
destroyed
This is unique
in
and
the skip
different.
button
It's not
ending.
like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative
That's
drivel all the
interesting.
time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley. Because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is
I
why,
didn't know
though I
Stanley
didn't know
could
when to
spit.
spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you,
And will
Stanley.
this happen
I don't know if you
in my
realize
boss's
the impact
office?
you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
I mean, like, yes, this is an option, but... Oh, come on. I feel robbed.
Okay, the room where
No,
we're
let me
holding
back.
this
Let me in.
should be just around the
Let
corner
me
here
in.
somewhere.
World's healthiest human being, all tricks revealed. How we did it, the pyramids. Live, the guy who went to Mars. All eyes on Stanley, live on stage. That's a lot of posters. We should take one home, honestly. It would be a good keepsake. An evening with world peace, baby.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Stanley Parable's Stanley, tonight, live on stage. The man, the process, the myth, the legend, the parable, Stanley from the Stanley Parable. Tonight, live on stage. You think it's trying to tell me something? Like, I've just noticed that there are a lot of things on the walls here, and I feel like they might be trying to give me a message. World's first sentient machine. That's just a robot arm. I'm not sure how it can show its sentience. But hey, apparently it did a Q&A, so why not? Stanley reveals all in his new book. Oh, there's an orb. Let us ponder the orb. Give it a minute. Sorry, we need to ponder the orb. I wish we could ponder the orb from closer, though. There's a rat on the back couch. Oh, that's fun. It's a rat. That is very tiny. I'm guessing the best way to see it is by taking manual control of the camera. Doing great. A conversation with Alexander the Great. Jeez, they have a real star.
I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry. You'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
But I haven't had my almonds, or my gum, or my chair, or my table, or my nut bar. I haven't had any of these snacks. That's indoors monthly again. I hope this plant doesn't die. I was sad about the last one. An audience with the dude who came up with pizza. Now that one is worth watching. Featured keynote speaker, the Lord, plus meet and greet. Oh my, they're gonna kill everyone in there. Break a leg, champ, your boss. Story. Stanley, me, dad, age 6. Look at his suitcase. Where's his suitcase? Oh! That's very nice. The freedom ending. Adventure awaits. Narrator Airlines. I played the demo. I went to the mind control facility, and all I got was this lousy sticker. Well, that's very charming. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. An unforgiving account of ups as well as downs. Highs and lows, isn't that what life's about? Thanks for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You're too cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on. Why did my boss get 2 notes on my mirror? I love the way you ride elevators. No one tells stories the way you do. Go get 'em, Tiger. Stanley, my true love for you grows every day. You make me feel alive. Your wife. From the apartment ending. Yes, I remember that one. Up again, down again, the Stanley story. Can I golf? Is there a special golf ending? I want the golf ending. Where is my golf ending? Gosh dang it. Can't believe they would make this game without releasing the golf ending. That's it. I don't want to play anymore. Oh my. Look at that. Look at those silhouettes. Did I just successfully back up?
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. Hey, we got another tick on that. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. It's never the end. Bro just got flashbanged. I mean, yes, there's new content, but...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime.
I mean, I gotta
a
save
work
some of the
art.
new content
What
for
was it about
tomorrow's
this
stream.
room? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Fine.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Thanks
and
for the
got back
follow,
on
drifting
track.
through
Drifting
space.
Crossface is now following.
I probably should have read your name at some point before I did, to be honest.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I mean, I could go for the escape pod ending, but I'm kind of just winging it. I'm seeing what ending I feel like pursuing at any given
Stepping
moment.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off
Now
the
I got
shelf,
the achievement.
looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
We got a lovely picture of a
Feeling
toxic waste
soothed
dump.
and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
There we go. You gotta stop turning the lights off on me, narrator. You said 425 last time. So I've been clicking on 425 every time I passed. You're good. I mean, here's the thing. I gotta do it at least once.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up.
Just
Silly me.
once.
Why did Stanley do that
For
when he knew
old
that it would
time's
just lead
sake.
back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Give me the button.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
I didn't realize I'd have to sit through his whole spiel up here.
Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all
Nah,
this?
I haven't gotten many achievements, honestly.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
I don't suppose I can send the elevator back up from outside. Okay.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
I mean, yes, he
At this
does,
point,
but
Stanley
does
was
Stanley
making a
make the
conscious,
best
concerted
decisions?
effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Hello. Geronimo.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Exactly,
Stanley
so
can't
there's
see
no
the
sense
big
in not
picture.
throwing
He
it
doesn't
away.
know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so
Actually,
he
that
resigned
sounds
and
profoundly
willingly
uncomfortable.
accepted this
Please don't
violent
pluck
end to
eyeballs
his
from
brief
blind
and
men,
shallow
isn't it?
life. Farewell, Stanley.
Okay. Wait, why can't I
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I like these boxes. Can I take one with me? Gimme. Gimme a box. Gimme the box. Give it to me.
And yet it would be just a few
Stanley
minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
For a second there, I thought I had actually clipped out of bounds or something. You know, it's kind of impressive that there really don't seem to be any game-breaking bugs in this. Like, the only things you can do are the
When
things
every
that they
path you
designed
could
for you
walk
to
has
do.
been created for you long in advance, death
least as
becomes
far as I've
meaningless,
seen.
making life the same. Do
Hey,
you see
it's
now?
my office.
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Nature paintings. They're all very pleasant. I like this one. This is nice. I can see that anytime I want. I live in Utah. I can just look outside and see a mountain if I want to, and they actually look a lot like that in many places. But no, this is snazzy. That's not nature, that's a sidewalk. Sidewalks aren't natural. Unless you're claiming it's a natural sidewalk, in which case that's kind of cool. The two doors. The set of two doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. You found Stanley's shirt at Target. Nice. Wait, like, we never get to see rooms 1, 2, or 3, though. This isn't the office. It's just the Walmart version. Looks at a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Kevin, the narrator. Ooh, the computers. Can I play solitaire? Aw. I'm sure that some really creative people have come up with some interesting music to do with those buttons. They always do. I still think one of my favorite things that I randomly ran across online was just, oh hey, we've got a new section for Warzone. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. I realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Oh, so this is the bicycle that they were going to use in the war zone that wound up in the memory place. Yeah, I remember finding, just randomly on YouTube, finding someone using the Ocarina of Time in Majora's Mask, the whole music system there, to play so many weird or random songs. There is a skeleton inside of you. There are more skeletons in this world than humans. Am I Stanley? Are you spying on me? How? Will the game feature capybaras? That's the important question. I didn't get to the bottom of the mind control facility. I just cut off to dive down a hole into this. The lounge, an early version. I like the newer version better. The blue was a nice touch. The cargo lift. Oh, there's a vent in maintenance. I didn't even know there was a vent there. There are a few options for reaching the confusion ending, it looks like. Or maybe that got thrown out. Get on the chair. The game is now paused. Good to know. design stuff. Got so many details of development. It's actually really cool. So I could head over there. Or I could head over here.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Narrator K confirmed. I see no evidence not.
The most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you.
Look, she's quite unsettling to be around. Oh, and the office clock. Good to know. Well, anyway, time to turn off the game. Is that everyone? Thanks for coming to the stream. Appreciate y'all.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Squish. We been squished. Yes, we got the ending. We're in heaven. Buttons. Buttons. It's so colorful. Stay off. I get that they won't stay off and that they will always come back on, but I mean, I can try, can't I? This was definitely one of the weirder endings that I found when I first played. All right. And now it's always available. Anytime I want the heaven ending, it's right there at the beginning.
All of his co-workers were gone. What? Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No.
Welcome to the
I
stream,
can't just give
Marching.
these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction.
You're good. You're just dealing with absurdity.
Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
What the heck is 417?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
It's back this way. You're sending me on laps. You're just making me get my steps in. Is there a door 437? Ah, there.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
What doesn't make it ultra deluxe, honestly? It's so ultra and honestly very deluxe.
Now, back to door number 437.
He's just making me get my steps in. But yeah, this has new
Let's
content.
see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to
the
room
original
417.
thing.
I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Yes, the neon hall sign is there to tell me that there was new content and then, new content. Oh, I walked past 417.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Where's 416? If that's 417, that's 415. Where's 416? Is he trolling me? I feel like he might be trolling me. In the new content? I'm not sure I trust him. He might make me see
Good.
the new
You
content.
noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
Narrator, you can calm down, okay? Like, I realize this is fun, but... I feel like you're
Finish it
getting
off,
more
Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430!
What if I just walked away at that point? I've clicked on it 4 times and then I just never come back. There's a certain satisfaction in falling just short of the goal. For no reason other than to make life horrible. I mean, I could jump out the window right now and that'd be that.
Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed in achievement. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, did he though?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay, so I'm thinking either we descend the elevator, or we actually cross there. You know what? I'll save that
And so
one.
he
Let's descend
detoured through the
elevator.
maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
So it looks like the vent was removed in development. Pity.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to
Oh,
the
the
office.
vent is in the
He wanted to
cargo.
wander about
Gotcha.
and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
That was behind me. That was not left.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear. Would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
You know, honestly, there's a small part of me that's surprised that this thing doesn't... Like, there's no ending where this thing just runs you over. I suppose there could be now. I haven't played Ultra Deluxe.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
I hope Stanley has his
back
eyes
to,
closed because mine are still
Am I
open.
kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so
Jeez,
far
what
off
happened
track.
to that?
Okay, from the top.
Obviously, someone got fired.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I could still break the logic. I could hop on the desk. Can I? No, they removed collision on the chair so that you can't escape that way. Isekai ending. Okay, but what if... Oh, I can't go to the new content. Welcome to the stream, Rafkin.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Well, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you
Maybe.
move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why
Check
am I
on-
asking you? I'm the
check
one who
behind
wrote
the
the
couch.
story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that
I
it's
say
here
check
somewhere.
behind the couch. I'm
Okay, then.
sure the story
It's
just
an
dropped back
adventure.
there or something.
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I mean, there are so many ways that I could go, but I kind of got to go with this one. Just because it lets me see the back of these chairs, and you know, that's just a special opportunity. If you go there... Inner guilt. Everyone knows what you did, they're just holding back to let you torture yourself. Oh my. You know what? I'm going this way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was
know,
a
we got
story
more
here before.
chairs.
Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There we go. Gotta keep clicking on the computers.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Yes. Oh my.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so...
We win,
good
guys.
job.
That's the game.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time.
Stream over.
I have to restart.
That's it. I think this is just like the end credits.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Sorry, I gotta click on I gotta click the buttons. This is Stanley's job. I mean, I could follow the adventure line, but
No, I'm down. We're living it up to the line from now on.
The determination to not go the direction games not go the direction of the story. Solitaire. Can I play? Let me play. I just want to play solitaire. Come on. Why can this not be a solitaire stream now? Fine.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's
Line,
over in this direction. Onward, Stanley,
I
to
appreciate
destiny.
that it didn't make me
Nope.
walk over
Here's a
this.
thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
This is wasting electricity. just really thought that there should be a branching path here. Just somewhere that you can abandon the line. Sorry, just reading all the walls. Employee 432 peer reviews. That is a lot of peer reviews. Alright, I gotta follow the line too. Remember, this fern.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
I'm so
Make
excited
sure
for
you
this
study
fern
it
to be
closely
important
and
later in the
remember
story.
it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay, I think I've got it. I think I have the fern memorized.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
This is not the fern.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Oh, I was trying to find employee 43427. Okay, but we still have to click the computers.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right?
No, I
Why
want the
can't we make
line.
up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How
Give me
about
the
this
line.
direction?
He stole my line.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley,
I'm gonna be lazy.
I'm ready
and-
for it.
No. I decided to not bother turning because it
Oh,
was taking
no,
too
not
much
you
effort.
again. Stanley,
Hey, it's the
I'd also
line.
like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
No, I like the line. The line doesn't talk back. Doesn't try to tell me what to do. No, come back, line. Oh.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which
Oh,
means
go
that
the right way.
somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Dang it.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending.
Deviate from
You're
maintenance
telling me
room. End up in
that's what
monitor
this
room.
is?
Narrator
It's all
restarts the
one
game.
giant
Discover
ending?
the 2 doors room
And we're
now
supposed
has
to
many
restart the
additional
game
doors. Aimless
eight
wandering. Narrator
times?
restarts the game. Second restart.
really how
The
all
office
this
is now a
goes?
dead end. Turn around
It's
and
all
find another dead end. End
determined?
up in another building. Narrator
So now,
restarts
according
the
to
game.
the schedule, I
Adventure
restart
line.
again.
Nonsense
Then what?
philosophy and
Am I
music.
just
Return to
supposed
the
to
office.
forget?
Return to the monitor
Well, what if
room.
I don't want to forget? My mind
Adventure
goes
into
blank
unexplored
simply because it's
territory.
written
Find the
here on
line
this-
again.
this
Find the confusion
thing.
ending schedule.
Wall.
Narrator
Well,
restarts the
who
game.
consulted
Narrator
me?
forgets about previous
Why don't I get to
restarts.
decide?
Stanley
Even
attempts to
I
play
get
the
a
story
say
but
in
is
all of this.
prevented.
Is it
Unable to
really?
go anywhere or do anything, the game
No, it
restarts
can't
on
be.
its own. Find the
I
line
don't
again.
want it to be.
Begin
I
following
don't
the
want the
line.
game
Find
to keep
an
restarting.
identical
I don't want
replica
to
of the
forget
office
what's
that
going
has
on.
begun to
I don't want to
deteriorate
be
or
trapped
attempt to
like
make
this.
up
I
story
won't
here.
restart
Narrator
the game.
restarts
I
the
won't
game. There is
do
no
it.
longer
I
an
won't
office.
do it. I
Simply
won't
black space.
do it.
Wander in darkness. Find a bookstore. Get
And
more.
the timer
The narrator restarts
stopped?
the game. The narrator's gone after
Does
a
that
long
mean,
time. Stanley dies.
Did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know?
I appreciate that the
Will
other door
someone
also
come for us?
led into here.
Will something happen?
Can I use this chair, please? I
So-
just want to sit.
Okay.
Just let me sit for a moment.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do...
Rip.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Guys, I think the time has come. Oh no, not the vent. Something far more
Yet there was
important
not a
than the
single
vent.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I think we're ready.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
I mean, I don't know, there's plenty of stuff here. Like, there's a broom. That's fitting for the broom closet.
There was nothing here. No
There's a
choice to make,
bucket for
no path
mopping.
to follow.
This isn't the
just
mop
an empty
closet,
broom
so it's
closet.
kind of strange why
no
that's
reason
there.
to still be here.
Geez, there are so many wrenches, but though this isn't the wrench closet. Why are there
It was
more
baffling
wrenches
that
than
Stanley was
brooms in
still
the
just
broom
sitting in the
closet?
broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here.
Look,
I'm
if we're in the broom
genuinely confused.
closet, I think I have to stand next to the broom. It feels right.
You do realize
I
there's
love
no
the broom
choice or
closet
anything in here,
ending.
right?
The broom
If
closet
I'd
ending
said
is my
Stanley
favorite.
walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've
Gotta
come
give
to a
it
very
time.
definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet,
I
explored
cannot
it a bit,
disprove
and
that
were just about to
claim.
leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's
I appreciate
indicative of
that
the long-term
confirms that the
sustainability of your
narrator
species.
is
Please
not
remove
human,
their corpse from the
and that
area
Stanley is
and
addicted
instruct
to
another
drugs and
human to
books,
take
yes.
their place,
But we
making
all
sure
kinda
they
knew
understand
that, if
basic
we're honest
first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Oh, I can't remember how long this goes on for. Yeah, but he described our human, our human limitations and stuff, or our human ailments. He wouldn't have described it like that if he was human. Well, anyway. Welcome to the broom closet ending, folks. Honestly, it's such an interesting room when you really give it time. Like, what's that thing up there in the box? It looks like it might be a spoon. Like a handle. And there's a bunch of duct tape. And this duct tape, like this particular piece of duct tape, actually has collision. Like, I can get stuck on it. Yeah, wow. Well, I mean, I can see that, but do you have any proof that you're human? Because I've seen no evidence to that effect. So, like, it's possible. I mean, I could go, but...
Ah,
fine.
second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you too. Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish, fungus. Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story.
I didn't know my
again.
signal reached the moon. Nice.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, fine. I'll pursue an ending that I haven't gotten yet.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
He seems a bit upset. I wonder if something's bothering him. Sewage Lilies by Claude Money. Jump down here. Oh, never tried. Dang. And let's head to the mind control facility. I don't know which approach to it I'll take, but...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Imagine if someone thought that they had to follow what the narrator says and just never got any other ending. I'm trying to jump through the gap. There's definitely enough room here.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
So
What
someone
horrible
fired
secret
for
did this
it.
place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Nope, bye. Dang it. How are these doors not only... Can you climb on the chair? Oh, nice. Oh! I've never done this before.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game, with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section.
Ooh, new music.
You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Welcome to the stream, Lastborn.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. The railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
I'm just seeing all of the angles while this is playing. I mean, it's honestly a bop. Oh. I guess Stanley starved to death down there in the bottom of the mind control facility. Hang on, we got some new people in here. Oh, wait. There's something we need to do.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
Now there is something I have to show y'all about the broom closet ending.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly
truly, deeply, madly love. Yes, really, really worth it being here
Stanley,
in the
just
room.
don't do anything with
So
the
utterly
room that would get me
captivating
banned from
that even though
Twitch.
all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
It's a nice room. Like, we gotta be honest here.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person
I
here
believe
either.
you, but I'm not
Feeling
going
a
to look
wave
it
of
up or read it
disbelief,
on screen.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Huh. See, in the last game, after you got the broom closet ending, the broom closet would get
no,
closed
no,
up.
no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Stanley doesn't just have one room. He's got multiple now. Like... Stanley's side room is too good for you, too.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I can't remember if there is another path down here. Let's double check.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
We're
And
just
as
gonna
Stanley
sit
pondered
here
this,
while
he
he
began to make other strange
narrates.
observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Not gonna
Why
check.
did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring
Dang
through
it, I
space
can't use
on
the
a
floating
magical
to get on
starfield,
top of the
and
car.
it too
What good is
appeared.
it?
It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all.
I'll be
entered
right back,
Stanley's
folks.
head.
Enjoy
One, he
the
was
narration.
amazed he
I'm
hadn't
just
asked
gonna head to the
himself
restroom.
sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, He knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life.
And now
exactly
y'all
the
see
way
why
it's
I
always
knew
been.
that I could take the time for
My life is normal.
going to the bathroom.
I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
It's a very different mood when you just stand still through that instead of running around in circles like
This
you're
is the
supposed
story of a woman named Mariella.
to. Honestly, when are we getting the
Mariella
Mariella
woke up on a
parable?
day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn
Also,
to go call for
that
an
looks like a
ambulance,
really
for
rough
just a few
position for the
brief
shoulders
moments,
to be
she
in. Like,
considered
that
the
looks
strange man.
profoundly uncomfortable.
He was obviously crazy.
Looks
This
like
much
both
she
of his
knew.
arms have been
Everyone
broken
knows what
just
crazy
below
people
the
look like.
shoulders.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I love the music on that part as well. It just ends on such a cheery note. Okay, come on,
All of his
where?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, and I guess this is where Stanley felt he needed to be right now, in this little hallway. Here, with no distractions, to study room 417. Not to actually enter it. No. That would be far too forward. Stanley
Yeah,
wanted to
enter
know
it
it
if you
from
would
the
let me.
outside. To see it not just with his eyes, but with his heart. He would know room 417 as no man or woman had ever known an office before. That ladder over there. Oh, and that little picture of a horizon or something. It's all just a never-ending parade of joy for Stanley.
I think that might just be a short interaction, if I recall it correctly.
Ah, no, apparently not. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I just want to see the broom closet ending blocked off. that's basically the last thing I'm planning to do
Yet
on
there
this
was not a
stream.
single person here either.
Show
Feeling a
me.
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let me in. I just want my favorite ending. They've blocked off the broom closet ending. Stanley starts chewing his way through the boards to return to the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Poor panda. It's not letting me out. There's an invisible wall. What a lovely view of blinding sun.
Here's the door, just go.
Hang on.
Eight.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I mean, no, I'll go.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he
Alright,
have
this
the
is going to be
strength
our
to
last
find
ending
out?
that we get tonight. So I've still got to hit the gym and get food. Monitors.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
427, right there. Let's see what it shows us. Hey, that's our office. And where is... Were we staring at 416 or 417? I can't remember. I think it must have been 417. It's beautiful.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his
I mean,
emotions had been
probably.
manipulated to accept it blindly?
I can't really think of another reason to be happy with that job. For most jobs, to be honest.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't
Like
it?
this light.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Alright, I want to find the buttons. I want to press the buttons. I know it won't help, but I want to press the buttons. They're shiny. Oh, it won't let me press them. It won't let me press them all in order. That's number 4 up there. I think. Mind controls idle, awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Nope.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me.
There are hints there.
What all this means, I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
Like, it shows the 2 button there.
I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep
Oh,
the action
there is an
It's
escape.
just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control
Wait.
this world, that's fine.
I don't know how to get through that door.
First, so you...
Goodbye, employee 427.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
So for a minute there, that door was open. I don't know if it's just always open, or if I just didn't, and then it closes as soon as you approach it, or what. But I might pay more attention to that next time. That said, we're gonna call it there because I'm hungry. And I want to get some food before I hit the gym. Gotta love the Stanley Parable. Oh, wait. Oh, no. For a second there, I thought Vinny was streaming right now. I would have sent y'all to him, but nope. We're just gonna call it there. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thanks again for the follow, Drifting Through Space. And we'll be back with more of this tomorrow. Might be a little bit later than I usually start on Saturday. I gotta go get my car's oil changed, but, you know, stuff. Being an adult and all that crud. Here. While we're signing off, I will press a few buttons. Here we are in heaven. Alright. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Appreciate y'all, and I hope to see you next time. Later, folks.